When your dog's tail starts wagging, do you see pure happiness, or could you be missing a critical warning? So many dog owners believe that any wag is a friendly one, but this common mistake can lead to fear, confusion, and even a preventable bite. We think we know what our dogs are telling us, but the truth is, most of us are only getting half the story. In this video, we're going to break down the language of tail wags and show you the one signal you absolutely can't afford to ignore. Understanding this single cue could change how you see your dog forever and might just prevent a tragedy. 1. The Great Misconception. First things first, let's bust the biggest myth in dog ownership. A wagging tail always means a happy dog. This belief isn't just wrong, it's dangerous. A wagging tail really only means one thing. The dog is emotionally aroused. That arousal can definitely be happiness, but it can just as easily be frustration, fear, or aggressive intent. Think of the tail less like a smile and more like a single, expressive word. If you only focus on the wag, you're missing the rest of the sentence: the dog's posture, its ears, and its eyes. This simple misunderstanding has led plenty of well-meaning people, both kids and adults, to be bitten by a dog whose tail was wagging furiously just moments before. The dog wasn't trying to be tricky. It was communicating its discomfort the only way it knew how, and the signal was lost in translation. The dog might have been trying to say, "Please stop," but because its tail was moving, the person kept coming closer, pushing the dog past its limit. To keep everyone safe and truly understand our dogs, we have to look beyond this oversimplification and learn to read the whole message. 2. The high-tail warning sign you can't afford to ignore. Now for the signal that this whole video is about, the one every dog lover needs to recognize in an instant. It's the high, stiff tail wag. This isn't the loose, relaxed, full-body wiggle of a happy pup. This is a tail held high, often straight up like a flagpole, or even slightly arched over the back. The wag itself isn't broad and sweeping. It's a tight, fast, almost vibrating motion. Some have compared it to a rattlesnake's tail just before it strikes. This posture is a clear indicator of high arousal, assertiveness, and potential aggression. While it can sometimes just signal confidence or intense focus, when you see it paired with other tense body language, it's a serious warning. This high tail position also serves a biological purpose. It helps spread pheromones from the anal glands, broadcasting a strong, assertive chemical message to any other animals nearby. The dog is essentially shouting, "I'm here, I'm on high alert, and I'm ready to defend myself or my territory." When you see this high, stiff wag, look for a forward-leaning body, a hard stare, and ears pricked forward. The mouth will probably be closed and tight. This dog isn't happy-go-lucky. It's agitated and possibly feeling threatened. This is where the critical mistake happens. Someone sees the fast-moving tail, thinks, "Oh, he's excited," and keeps approaching. That's a huge mistake. A dog in this state is a coiled spring, and pushing closer could be the final trigger for a lunge or a bite. Recognizing this flagpole tail for the warning it is one of the most important safety lessons you can learn. 3. Decoding the compass, tail direction matters. If you thought that was complex, scientists have recently uncovered another layer: the direction of the wag. Studies have found a fascinating link between which way a dog's tail wags and what it's feeling, and it's all tied to which side of the brain is more active. Here's a simple way to think about it. A wag that's biased more to the dog's right side is usually a positive sign. This right-sided wag is connected to the left side of the brain, which handles positive feelings like happiness and familiarity. the kind of wag you see when they greet their owner. So, if your dog's tail is sweeping more to its right, you're probably looking at one genuinely happy pup. On the other hand, a wag biased to the dog's left is a red flag. A left-sided wag is linked to the right side of the brain, which processes negative emotions like fear and anxiety. You might see this when a dog is facing something unfamiliar or unsettling. What's incredible is that other dogs seem to pick up on this. Studies showed that when a dog sees another dog wagging to its left, its heart rate actually goes up and it shows signs of anxiety. When it sees a right-sided wag, it stays relaxed. So while this detail can be subtle for us, it's a clear signal that dogs automatically understand. 4. The language of height: high, neutral, and low. Beyond that critical high tail warning, the tail's general height acts as an emotional barometer. You can break it down into 3 basic zones: high, neutral, and low. First, as we've covered, a tail held high and stiff is a sign of assertiveness or high arousal. It's a dog broadcasting its confidence and readiness. Next is the neutral position. For most dogs, this is when the tail is held at about spine level. A tail in this neutral spot, especially with a loose, relaxed wag, is the true sign of a happy or curious dog. This is the friendly, "Hey, how's it going?" signal. If the tail is held straight out horizontally, often without much wagging, it can mean the dog is just curiously checking something out. Finally, there's the low or tucked tail. A lowered tail, or one tucked tightly between the legs, is a clear sign of fear, submission, or stress. The dog is trying to make itself look smaller and block its scent, basically saying, "I'm not a threat, please leave me alone." A dog in this state feels insecure, but don't assume a submissive dog won't bite. Fear is a powerful motivator, and a terrified dog that feels cornered might still use aggression to create space. 5. The speed and style of the wag. The speed of the wag adds even more detail. As a general rule, the faster the wag, the more aroused the dog. But as we know, arousal isn't always a good thing. Let's start with happy wags. The classic sign of a joyful dog is often a broad, sweeping wag that makes its whole body wiggle. This includes the famous helicopter tail that spins in circles, usually paired with a wiggling butt and a loose, relaxed body. This is pure, unfiltered excitement. Now, let's contrast that. A slow, hesitant wag often signals insecurity. The dog might be interested, but is feeling unsure about the situation. Then you have the rapid wags. We already talked about the dangerous, high-frequency vibrating wag of an aroused dog. But a tail held low and wagging very quickly is a sign of intense fear or appeasement. This dog is extremely uncomfortable and is pleading for space. Don't mistake it for an invitation to come closer. 6. The whole dog approach. By now, it should be clear that the tail is just one piece of the puzzle. To really know what a dog is saying, you have to look at the whole picture. For a happy dog, that loose, mid-level wag will come with soft eyes, a relaxed body, and a gently open mouth. A fearful dog with a tucked tail will often have a crouched posture, ears pinned back, and may turn its head away while keeping its eyes on the perceived threat, often called whale eye. You might also see them licking their lips or panting, and for that highly aroused, potentially aggressive dog, the stiff, high tail will be matched with a rigid body, a hard stare, and ears pricked forward. Sometimes a dog will freeze completely right before acting out, and that sudden stillness is a massive warning sign, even if the tail is still wagging. You have to read all these signals together. 7. What about dogs without tails? So what about dogs without long tails? Breeds with docked tails or natural bobtails, like boxers or Australian shepherds, are at a bit of a communication disadvantage. They still try to send the same signals, but they're much harder to read. A dog with just a nub might wiggle its entire rear end to show happiness. However, because their signals are muted, other dogs can have a hard time understanding their intentions, which can sometimes lead to social mix-ups. It just goes to show how important the tail really is for communication. Learning this language is a journey, and every time you observe your dog, you become a more responsible owner. What has your dog's tail been telling you? Have you ever seen that high, stiff wag and realized what it meant? Share your stories in the comments below. It could help someone else avoid a dangerous situation. If you found this guide helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more deep dives into how dogs communicate. Up next, we're tackling the 5 calming signals your stressed dog is showing you that you're probably missing. You won't want to miss it. The idea of the always happy wagging tail is nice, but it's a fantasy that puts both people and dogs at risk. A dog's tail is a complex tool, communicating everything from joy to deep fear and potential aggression. The height, speed, direction, and stiffness of the wag are all part of the message. The most important signal to learn is the high, stiff, vibrating wag, a critical warning sign of a highly aroused dog. By learning to spot this and always reading it in the context of the dog's entire body, you go from being just an owner to being your dog's best advocate. You'll be able to better understand your own dog, predict behavior, and keep everyone safe. You're no longer guessing, you're decoding. And that knowledge is the best tool you have to build a bond of trust and safety that will last a lifetime.